All right, this time we'll call the regular county commission meeting order, certified of quorum, citizen improvements, payment of current bills.
I'll move. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Terry said she had a couple files that she never remember.
He didn't say anything about our.
Huh?
When
No,
he
he
came, when he came in a while ago. Oh, did you guys get one?
Yeah.
I know if you do. Sometimes they send one, sometimes they send three. You see your picture in there anywhere? They got the MAC conference in there. Or the commissioners conference, I'm sorry. They always only show certain people though. Did you see Mac bought a funeral home?
No.
They're gonna make their new office in a funeral home.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, they talked about that. Hmm.
I was looking to see if we can see any of us in there.
But there's Kevin.
Where? Which one? Yeah, he is. He's standing back there in the back. A little blurry.
Yeah, a little guy.
You can preview this conference.
Yeah.
You're somebody. You're somebody. They didn't think it was at the conference, but they got proof.
Me and Kevin watched that one whole opening deal. They kept paying in the
Yeah.
audience. We never seen Gene in there.
Yeah.
They don't take pictures of the corners of the building. The far back row back.
I always sit on the corner. Water pill kicks in, I gotta get up and move. I don't wanna get out of the middle of the row anywhere and walk.
Excuse me.
Exactly, cause you see the way they put them chairs in there?
Oh, yeah. Dave, do you want to file this? That's for Mr. Lofton. CDL. Okay. Training, that's I just marked out where it said academy and just put CDL training, and we filled everything else out and got the very back page is the dates and the money and got it all signed. Today's, I think, his last day. He'll come back a Class A truck driver.
Today's his last day.
Yep. Yesterday and today is a 2-day class.
That ain't bad.
It's Class A.
No, he didn't have no kind of CDLs, but that's what he's after.
Oh.
Yep.
Once he leaves that, he's gotta go take a test.
No, it's all done right there. The first day's all classroom stuff and teaching them about what they need to do when they approach the truck and how to pass their
Yeah.
pre-trip inspection.
Mhm.
And then they take him out today driving, and
Is it?
then this afternoon, the last thing he does, he'll take his test right there in house.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you don't have to go to no highway patrol or nothing. They're certified to do everything.
Cool.
You gotta back up.
Yeah.
Gotta back up. That's easy.
You know, they've got the little bitty trucks with the low boys and the day cabs. You can. I know a kid, and it's fine, but it's right. In the book, it states, whenever possible, use a spotter. Well, I knew a kid that was taking the test, and he was at the highway patrol station, and he said, "Hey, since you're out there on the ground," he said, "it states in the book to use a spotter whenever possible." He said, "Spot me," and he said, "I'll put it where you want it." And that guy looked at him, and he's like, "That's good." And he stopped him,
Really?
but yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey," he said, you're standing out there. Don't let me hit something. I mean, a cone is like a vehicle or a person. Just stop me whenever I'm good."
He's out there. So
That's a problem if they go out. I mean, if you let them lapse, you're done.
I wasn't paying attention. No. That was because of the license bureau too. Back before license, you could drive anything.
Yeah.
Well, I went down to renew mine, and I guess they forgot to put it on there. I didn't pay attention to it. I lost it. I asked him, they said, no, but you gotta take it all over again. I go, but they're the ones that forgot to put it on there, not me.
Oh, yeah, last video won't fix it.
No. So now to get mine back, I gotta go do all
That happened to, cause you get your,
and my motorcycle endorsement was on there too. Had motorcycles and everything. Oh, yeah.
every day,
Well, doing good.
Ah, see there?
opioid burning training.
Do, 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 do.
It's been a busy morning already.
Oh, just busy. I seen the city of Waynesville. Not quiet, just busy trees.
Yeah, I had two guys come in before we even started the meeting about water problems. It's everywhere. When you get 4 inches of rain in 45 minutes, it don't do
Upper
anything.
South here got a hell of a rain the other day.
It
It went
rained.
south of my house. You could tell it was pouring. Bucket. Looked like it went through Fort Wood, maybe the back gate. I don't know.
A guy came in on Harvey Drive, and on the back when it starts off the hill, he's got gravel that's culvert plugged up, and there's gravel up the bottom of his car that deep where it run off down in his yard. It's a mess.
I'll take these if you're done with them too.
Yep. Did you sign it?
Sir, anything for me today?
Oh, we got it.
Thank you. See you later.
That Terry has. She just needs to talk about.
I'll make a motion we approve those. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sheriff, did I see that the Pulaski County Sheriff got some accommodations to the governor, so now you get some additional training funds or something
Where'd you see that at?
on the governor's, on the website?
Mm-hmm.
Pulaski County was one of so many
We-
counties,
Well, the Blue Shield.
Blue
that,
Shield,
That we
yeah.
applied for, Blue Shield County. So with that, we're working on it now, do a grant for equipment, $50,000. And we're gonna, that will outfit the rest of the vehicles with repeaters, so they can talk on our anodes. We only had money for 8, so we'll get the other 8 done. That is a huge safety issue. And then,
We had that years ago in car.
repeaters.
Whatever happened to them? Yeah.
They're, well, I don't know where any repeaters are right now. The only repeaters I found were 3 pyramids down in the annex that,
There were ones they put in the cars so if they got away from their car, their handhelds would go to it and go out. I don't know how much we spent on them. It's been years ago
uh, for 8 repeaters, it's $22,000. And we were doing half the fleet because half each shift, so that way somebody would most likely be with another person with a repeater. 'Cause even if you don't have a repeater, my radio will go through your repeater to the station. So, but if we can do all 16 now, then. But yeah, that's one of the benefits of being in Blue Shield County. And only Blue Shield County is going to apply for these.
Yep. It's great.
Hopefully they do it every year because I had another. I had Central Square come in yesterday. Another CAD, JMS, RMS system, like I had, like on the go I talked to you about and stuff like that. But Central Square, Phelps County and Osage County uses Central Square. And I was told that it,
though. Close. This time we'll go close section 0 law chapter 610-021. include 6.1 legal.
So moved.
I second.
On
We're
there,
back on.
live at 5. But yeah,
It's big. That's the old,
if you're ever missing anything,
Tilden property back through there.
Yeah.
The Tilden had a lot of that back through there. I call it Tilden Ridge, actually. I think there's 5 of them that live on that ridge, 6.
yeah.
I don't wanna drive next to a sinkhole.
You're driving over that one. It pits back underneath the road.
I'm sure it does.
You didn't know that?
It's safe
It's
there.
been that way for years. And then if you go down Park and
I've
walk,
seen videos in Florida.
you didn't see the one that happened in St. Robert? Right behind the motel, about 18 years ago, I think it was, somewhere around there. I'm driving
I
through
know
there
we
and
got
all
one
of a
right there
sudden,
at the park.
the dumpster disappeared. I went, what? Where the motels is on St. Robert Boulevard, the Red Roof Inn,
Mhm.
right behind it, there's that little road that comes around. It disappeared. Where the sink, where the trash is right there, that grass and all that just dropped about 30 feet and it went out. And I was like, oh shit. And they brought in these dump trucks with these huge rocks. They dumped them on the edge. Crazy guy, St. Robert, with that backhoe just kept pushing them off in there, driving out on that, but it went. I said, no way. No. Yep, they ain't never had a problem since they filled it in. They filled it in with boulders. Then they put different size rock and boulders and
So have they like excavate or like did any research on that thing to see how deep or see?
They've got it's got a plaque. Yeah, it tells all about it there. It's got a billboard there. Well, not a billboard, but it's a
Yeah.
4x4 deal sign. It tells all about it. I've never got out to read it. I don't want too close to the edge of it.
Oh, it's safe to drive around.
It's all right.
Mhm.
I know there's trees growed up. You can look. It's a long ways down in there.
yeah. They're interesting, I can tell you that. It's just crazy how just
Wow.
I know where there's one out in the woods. There's about a 4-foot opening in it, and you can't see I throw the rock down in there, and it's at least 20-some foot deep, and probably 16 foot across it. Just a hole right in the middle of the
you know where
of
the
a
old
field.
pheasant farm is, off J Highway over by the charcoal kiln.
Yeah.
There's 3 there, 3, maybe 4.
They say Missouri's sitting on top of a cave. I mean,
All it is get enough rain, it washes that material down, all of a sudden you get them gaps, and all of a sudden, there it goes.
I guess the Ruby Spring, don't it come back underneath the
Right.
courthouse there?
Was heard, yeah.
That's why we got a pump down there in the elevator. We got a pump down there that runs constantly, where that shaft, see our elevator shaft was 40 feet in the ground. And we got a pump down there, it pumps,
Uh,
we can be sitting here one day. I think Daryl's at the 911 meeting.
and I thought it was hydraulics on this chair.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm sinking over.
He thought it was the hydraulics that shirt keep.
Yeah, maybe I'm sinking over here, right?
You ever get a nominee for the 911 board? Opening now, right? You're an opening. Next year. So we
And I think if it's in between the terms, then their board will appoint somebody to fill the position until.
Did you get that from Flock about nominating somebody for an award? They send me stuff all the time. You gotta have it turned in by July 11th.
An email?
Yeah, come by email. The 2025 Solved Awards, I guess. Hashtag Solved Awards. Did you get a copy of it? Really? Here, you can go to that. Under the flock safety.
Yeah.
You can nominate somebody. Must be different categories you can nominate somebody for. If you don't get it, let me know. You ever get anybody on your guardrail?
No, I have not. I don't know what, I got one more person I'm gonna call today. Emery Sapp and Sons, they said they might bid it. I don't know, one of them's gonna go look at it and supposed to send an email, and I don't know if Kylie's got it or not.
Get some C clamp and drill in there.
It's everybody, you just stop anywhere, people struggling, they can't get, there's no help, not enough people to go around
Or
anywhere.
they're so busy,
Yeah,
they can't get to you. Give me a year out, at least. That time of year. Didn't you have a rock hammer for your backhoe?
Yeah, it's too big for the backhoe. And it's,
Didn't you have one too?
no, well, we got one for that, mini excavator,
excavator.
yeah.
It's too small.
We lost an axle out from underneath the trailer pulling it Monday morning over at the, at Sweetwater's old place. They turned down that outer road, and good thing they just made the corner when it come off and wasn't really up to speed. Lost the whole tools and everything off of the back driver's side.
Ooh. I remember one time they got one. It was a used one when they got it.
Yeah, it's probably the one that we got over there. It's,
Yeah,
they've tried to
They
sharpen
say,
it and
they
everything else.
say it would vibrate the machine, so they'll wear a machine out.
they're pretty rough on them, but
It was really too big for you couldn't hardly, with it on there, you couldn't hardly load it because it was just so
How
heavy.
often do you use one?
I'll tell you what, we could use one every day for several. I mean, a lot of these old rocks in these ditches. Well, one of the guys that just came in over there in the office this morning, He showed me pictures of just a bunch of big rocks and you can't make a ditch. They're gonna have to be
Hammered
busted
out.
out. Water hit them and they went right down the middle of the road.
I've seen a lot of these, so many hills. You got, it'll be
Big
bedrock.
rocks sticking up.
Well, this one right over here is one of them, going up,
Yeah,
I think about,
oh yeah,
Send it to me.
huh?
I can't find it on,
yeah, they need jackhammered out.
when I signed in the flag.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get as much done in a month as we can.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Get a bunch of them hammered out.
Yeah, usually when I get to go to a road to work on it, we take whatever we need over there and try to bust the rocks out, get the ditch cut back
What?
in.
S-O
Isball,
PC Sheriff too.
.com.
Yep.
This,
This one's a 1,500-pound hammer hole. They got a 1,000-pound too.
That's a good thing about it, your operator should know where the worst is at and won't spend much time looking.
We don't have to look.
You'll know
We've
right where
already
they're,
got a pretty good
know right where they're at. I know
plan.
where mine's at too.
Down on Brownville by the bluff. There's no old ditch so we're gonna hammer out a pretty good section there where we can get a ditch, keep the water across the road from the road. We rented the 85. I think if we do it again next
Can I take
year,
these out of order to look at, or you wanna keep them in
I
order?
think probably the 60 is probably the right size. That
Who'd you get it from?
Murphy at Murrayville. It's a nice machine.
Minus the window.
Minus the
minus the
window.
windshield. What's the name of our John Deere dealer?
Martin.
I rented a machine for my own personal use one time and I bought extra insurance and everything else. And we flipped the rock up and knocked the glass out of it. And before it was all said and done, that insurance that they sold you,
Didn't pay for it.
it wasn't worth a hill of beans. I'd end up buying a glass. It's that fine print that gets you every time.
There's Martin, Murphy, and McCoy. They're all ends.
That lady ever looked at the sign out there, Gene?
Yeah, I've
What'd
changed
she-
my mind on it. I'm thinking about cutting that off and putting two new posts in and have them re-weld to. What's happened is like, it's little thin metal, they fill it with concrete.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about cutting that off, taking them poles out, putting two new poles in and re-welding to it, and then have the lady do the sign. Because what she's wanting to do is, there's nobody who wants to do anything with the pole. She was gonna use bottle, which water will pop that off first freeze. So it's easier for me to come and cut that off.
So there was never any budget.
She can do the sign.
Out of the Crocker.
Well, they set the pole, then re-weld it back on. I think that's the best way to go with it. Now I gotta find somebody to do the pole. So that concrete's just, ain't gonna work. That's what broke it up and tilted it. You notice it's crooked
Yeah.
where the concrete's froze and pushed it. I mean, it ain't going nowhere right now, but it's just, I'm afraid somebody's gonna brush up against it and cut their leg.
Route 66 sign down Devil's Elbow. We heard any more about that?
Yeah, I have.
He was working with a guy, but that guy went,
Yeah, I,
heard from the guy?
no, it just went cold.
Quiet.
Yeah.
That property liability
He
insurance,
wanted
is
to
that
do everything
money,
his way. We had-
will that be taken out or is that just in there just?
Get an easement or something.
Well, they had the lady there on the line. She was gonna, as long as there was lights on it
Will
and.
they get paid at some point or is it?
I know he's,
Okay.
one of them guys that we met with, I think he's been having some health issues.
So the
That was it.
first
Yeah.
payment was that out of the general revenue side, and then it'll come out.
He did get it to where, him and, I guess these are the two that got it done, but, trying to think of what that guy's name is. I
Was
know
that-
it just- But anyway, him and Dave
Yeah,
Harbaugh
yeah, okay, yes.
had went and bought one of these mailbox deals. It's got like 40 mailboxes in one post. They're gonna set it up down there by the old post office in Devil's Elbow so people can, they're having to drive all the way to Newburgh to get their mail.
Well, they had put a box in there temporarily at one time.
Yeah, they asked, I met with them, they said, where will it be out of the way down here? And we picked a spot and they made a base for it and they bought it online and they're putting it up down there so people can get their mail and not have to drive all the way to Newburgh.
Sure, but you see a big deal going on in Marys County with the missing money.
Yeah.
Ooh. I was reading into that. Guess it was a drug bust. $5,300 in cash in that car too, but it's disappeared. The prosecutor wants to know where it's at. Then they called the Ohio Patrol and investigated. I guess they still got all the dope. But they can't find it.
We just slicked down there. See.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't enough money for me to go to jail for a while. I can say that right now.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
it won't get you nowhere.
No. I got rid of my cousin. She was 77. She flew back. Now I got the grandson 5 days because the boy had surgery.
Got the ball player.
Yeah. But he got You know, for 2.5 years old, he can stand at this wall and throw that wall, throw strikes all day long for 2.5 years old with a regular sized baseball.
I seen him on
I was
Facebook.
like,
Yeah,
oh my God.
and he'll give it to wind up and
Oh,
raise
yeah.
up one
The
leg.
funny thing is he watches too much TV because he'll sit there. Sometimes he'll sit there and before he winds up, he'll go. He'll look like he's looking back, and then he starts his throw, and he ain't even looking, and he throws it right to the mitt.
Yeah,
I was like, he ain't even pay attention where he throws it, but he gets there.
he keeps up, he'll go somewhere with that.
Then he'll turn around, he'll throw left hand.
He
The other day he was playing hockey. Every sport he watches, he wants to play. You should have seen him. He got a little wild with a hockey stick. I said, there ain't no more hockey in this house.
Yeah, playing hockey, they lose teeth and stuff over that deal. Yeah,
Italy, she plays travel ball. She plays catch with him all day long. He goes good. You can hear it hit the mitt too. That's what gets me.
yeah.
He just things he does kills me. Sometimes he'll. That's one of them. He just now he go step back further. He's gonna throw some more. He just keeps going further and further and further back as he pitches.
Yeah, he's got an arm on him for 2.5.
That was just a picture. He's looking at the seams of the ball where he's grabbing it. Then he was bowling in the house. He's got the place up. He watches bowling on TV. So now he grabs his towel and he wipes his ball off before he throws the ball. Wipes his- You know he's watching TV.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He goes, Meemaw, I need my towel. Calls her Meemaw. Him and Meemaw spent all day together yesterday and all day today. Yesterday at noon, she was sending me texts and calling. Are you about done?
I need relief.
Well, it was. He's got this big Jeep. It's got a remote control where he can control it. She decided to take him outside with it. He got in there and he started driving around. All of a sudden, the remote went dead in their hand. He had full control of the Jeep, but she was chasing him in the neighborhood. He was just a laughing in the driveway. Till he hit my smoker and he's stuck. The only reason I caught him was he hit your smoker and he was stuck there. Did you get that email I sent you? Stacy, did you get that email I sent you? Make sure we're through.
Yes.
Must be several different awards you can apply for. I don't know.
Oh, this is the same, that's a duplicate.
Some of them are probably 2 months in a row, exit month.
Yeah, since back Jeans was here and mine was here.
Yeah, we mixed up. I was going over seeing what I have coming up. What 4 windows are we gonna do next? We gonna do the roof, we'll do the roof cap first.
Well, it just needs ceiling on it, so that's not a big deal. But we might
The
do
windows,
is go around
we
with
have to rent a lift. So we can do the windows. When I had the lights done when I first got here, the outside lights didn't work. I got here 15 years ago. I ended up getting a lift from Springfield, then I had York come over. All the ones that burn out bulbs. Every one of them. We had one of them had a sensor bad in it or something, but They redid them all. There was 364 light bulbs out the courthouse. Everyone only had 2 working in it, in the whole courthouse. They go, we're saving electric. I go, no, you're not. Those are like the transformers. They're running all the time. You ain't saving nothing.
Heard there'd been one more, they could change the bulb a day for years.
Well, yeah, and they were saving, they totally save money. I go, you're not saving money. Those got ballasts that are,
Yeah.
then ballasts are burning 24. Every time that light switch is on, it's running. Well, you got to blow it.
Whether it's got light or not. Yeah.
Then I went and bought pallets of the newer stuff. I'd buy a pallet. York would come to a pallet at a time. I don't remember where I stopped on that.
Switching to LEDs.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything except for on the secure side, everything else got done.
Yeah. Well, over at Terry's, the lights wouldn't even over the counter so she could see. I don't know who designed that. We moved the lights over where the people can see.
Mm-hmm.
They were further back. It was dark right there where the people were trying to write a check or, so I had them all shift the lights around in there. In the big courtroom, Judge Warren's bench didn't have a light over it or a heat or a cooling.
Yeah.
So I moved in, all they did was went over, jury had 3. So pick that tile up with that duct and move it over here, over the judge. Swap tiles.
He wants to start in
To
September.
move that light over the judge so he can see.
Yeah.
And see if we're still in there.
I'll have to go see Jeff. Jeff came to me.
It could be.
Can't speak in here.
Yeah.
So. Yes.
I'm gonna start looking, Dave, there's a conference before the MAC conference, but it's more of an equipment conference. They usually have it down in Branson.
Yeah, it's the one we went to. That's the best one you can go to.
Yeah, what's the name of it? Do you know
It's
the initials?
Yeah, it's the, National, NACO? NACO I think NACO's the one that puts it on. It'll be down at what's that convention center there by Branson Landing, that
Yeah, the
motel, Hilton, it's there. That was the best one I think I've ever been to. That was when Charlie first came in, and I had 2 new commissioners. I took them to that.
Is that the National Association of Counties?
I think, but yeah,
Well,
they were a part of it.
it's got initials, but I just,
Yeah.
if you see something on that, I'd be interested in trying to go, because they said
I loved it.
that's when all the equipment people are there and all the
You should
new.
see the equipment in
Yeah.
that place. That's for the dump truck Charlie was looking at there. This dump truck had everything from sprayers on it to dump to blades to, like, how much is that truck? Yeah, that one there is like 565,000. I said, Charlie, keep going down. See that little one way down there?
Yeah.
You're on them funds. That was before anything. They had to go, you're on them funds. But they have he's right. Every piece of equipment for a road is there.
Okay.
It's crazy. And the people that talk road, and you get a lot of them down on the mountainside down there, how they hold the gravel road. They're smart to talk to. That's where you come up with the salt, but they do it. They blend it. They got a machine that blends it to where you lay it down, water it, and pack it, and then they say it's like concrete. But that's how they hold the roads around Branson.
You know what? Let me solve your gravel road issues. Cobblestone. Turn all the roads into cobblestone. Look, Germany's had cobblestone roads for hundreds of thousands of millions of years.
Just start laying brick.
Mhm.
Just start laying brick.
They got a brick machine. It puts it all in the ground. Didn't you see that? Looks like an asphalt machine, but you put bricks in there and it,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah,
lays them down.
guide things and everything.
Yeah, lays them all down. He whipped you that hard, you got a stiff neck now.
Not,
No, Whitney took them from me, so,
Wow, that's,
yeah.
there's the stiff neck right there.
painted my kid's bedroom last weekend and forgot how old and fat I am and all that stuff.
I don't be painting.
That's when you know you're out of shape.
Yeah, when you do something that should be easy and you go, oh, shit, that hurt.
I'll ask some guys too, 'cause I know there's an acronym to it. Yeah.
And it was put on,
And it's around November.
Yeah,
it wasn't a part of the Missouri Association.
No,
This was part of NACO, but it was,
it was, I think last year it was the weekend or 2 weekends before the MAC conference.
yeah, it is.
But it's, I guess every man's piece of equipment that you can use on the road is there. You can look at it and talk to the people, you go to the MAC conference, which it's fine, but it's a lot of insurance and it's a lot of the vendors but this is all just equipment vendors.
You'll see some of them that sell ours there too.
Yeah, they go to both of them, but
Well, probably the Cat, John Deere,
Yeah.
Mack International.
yeah, they're all there.
I assume that's what it is. 'Cause
Hmm.
Cause I was asking, that brush cutter that we bought, he was down there and I was asking him if he was going to the MAC conference. He said, no, he was going to that Branson one instead. And I think he ended up,
Macco, MACTO.
yes, yes.
I had to look it up under Branson.
MATCO, that is it.
MATCO, here's the 24 registration. Damn it, people, get out of there. Matco Conference.
It is a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's it. Yeah, that right there. It's in Branson, October 8th and 9th, Branson Convention Center.
That was in 24.
This was 24, yeah. So, let me Google.
What are the letters?
MAC.
Like Macco tools.
Like that,
Yeah.
Was it MAC?
or is it MACCPO?
MAC.
Because they've got the Missouri Association of County and City Transportation Officials.
Hang on. MACCTO.
Nonprofit organization that consists of any county.
All the
employee
cities will
involved in
be
county
there in
bridges and
counties and
highways.
state. MACCTO.
2025 conference.
Hmm.
Yeah. This one's in St. Charles. Yeah.
Did they move it?
7th and 8th,
Did they move it?
St. Charles Convention Center. Yeah.
LTAP's a part of that too. Yeah, we went to that one. I was like, man, why haven't we been going to these for a long time? Then I forgot about it. Because that one there, when you go to the conference, they talk roads, they talk some other stuff, but 75% of it's road, 25% of it's the other side. Like stuff I would be doing, but 75% of it's what you guys do. And the people they got there, it's all cities, counties, MoDOT, everybody's there. You know, that's what I took into was the experience. They wasn't in office yet. The conference, I said, you know what? I read about it. I said, this might be something for them. I took them did before they took off. That was right before COVID hit too. Because I missed a receipt for one to take them to eat one day. And I had to get a receipt for COVID hit. It took her 6 months to get the receipt for that restaurant.
Oh,
COVID. It's a pretty good sized motel to walk around, the one in Branson is. I've been to that motel before, but I've never been on the conference side. Well, you can go, there's so many conference rooms in that place.
yeah. Called that Brian, the radio whip guy, last week
Brian from who?
from Martin, the radio whip guy.
Oh, yeah.
I called him last week asking him about a backhoe. I'm not in the office right now. He said, I'm in Illinois at the
golf tournament.
John Deere Classic.
Yeah, I was going to send you a message. How can you get tickets to that?
Yeah. He was watching the John Deere Classic.
Yeah.
I said, must be nice. He said, yeah, it's pretty hilly. I'm starting to get, I said, well, grab you a cart somewhere.
I got a family pretty high out.
Yeah. He hadn't got back to me yet, so he may not have sobered up yet.
Yeah.
And also, Eric is supposed to track down. We were talking about trying to buy our old low boy or something and sharing it because every time we got to have a grader hauled, it's $1,500.
Oh,
And we were talking about, but apparently there's a local guy that's wanting to sell the low boy and the semi,
tractor.
the tractor for. But Eric's supposed to be trying to track it down. Didn't sound like too bad of a deal.
Those envelopes, how much of the senior tax inclusion?
Senior tax.
Has there been an estimate of how much less revenue the county received that impacted at all?
It will be, there will be an impact, but, we don't have a number yet. What was it? I think they ended up with just under 2,000 applications, or no, under 1,500.
Yeah, just over 1,500.
1,492 or 1,493 applications.
Definitely an impact.
So.
And we probably only had 10 that was declined.
So far, yeah.
That's not bad.
There's gonna be an impact.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Make it up somehow.
I don't know if we'll make it up. We just have to absorb
You're
it.
either gonna cut it or raise it. That's something that they can shortfall.
Well, them unfunded mandates headed down by the state.
We've talked about one of the biggest impacts has just been, and it's good, and I'm glad it's there for the seniors, but
Sure.
each application goes from Terry's office to
And
Daniel's office to Dave's office. And then most of those people are going up to the clerk's office to get a copy of their deed. So it's affecting 4 offices. And it's probably, some applications are easier than others, but I mean, an average of 2 hours an application. You know, and so then if you got 1,500 applications rounding off, that's 3,000 hours.
that's an impact on manpower.
That's just been spent. You know, that's so one full-time employee's 2,080 hours. So that's a employee and a half. It's basically not been able to do their regular county functions.
Hourly wage at $18 an hour, be that.
Yeah.
And there was a new employee hired in the collector's office.
Yeah,
for-
plus one was hired, yes. So we're over $100,000.
Just in processing.
Unfunded, it's an unfunded mandate in the state.
You lost the funds due to the.
It costs us about $100,000 to do the whole process. Now, that ain't counting what the seniors are gonna lose, senior center, school, all the rest of it. So, you know, it made them look good at the state. Yeah, then the House and the Senate made them look really good, but it cost everybody below them.
I've got a new program I started up over Thursday, Bill Harvard's gonna sit in, I can't, what's the other guy's name?
John Mayhew.
Oh,
I haven't
man.
got reached out to him. Set aside a.
Looks like a long-
Come in and talk what's going on. Politics, called Pulaski Pulse. One of them politics in Pulaski. It's gonna be, it's just, they're gonna come in virtually. Talk shop. You guys are welcome to come in anytime you want. Virtually go to the studio. 6 or 7 o'clock every Thursday. It'll not call in. We'll call in and go into. But Josh Griner back. I'll bet it's not.
Josh.
Senator.
Josh Hawley.
Harley. And you guys think. Been picking all our Congress. See how Kansas City is.
Marco.
You guys would need a pretty decent, not a big track hole with a hammer on it, but a mid-size to do that.
Yeah, we rented the 85. It's the biggest mini that you could get. Yeah,
How did it work?
it works really good. It's just a hair. Probably that they make a 70. Probably the 70 is the one. If I try to do it again next summer, I would probably go with the 70. It's just a hair smaller for transporting wise and stuff like that.
Why, how do you, 85, what do you gotta transport it on?
On our flatbed.
You can haul it
Pendle
on,
hitch flatbed.
but you got something to haul it.
Yeah,
What's it weighing, oh, 20,000?
19,000.
What's better? You guys got bobcats or skid steers.
Yeah.
What's better for brush? Flail or brush blade?
It is. I've got one of my own. It's a personal machine. It just depends what you're trying to get rid of. I've got a brush hog that'll cut up to an 8-inch tree. But it don't have it's got blades. It don't have the horse and the open head on it. But it just depends what kind of application you want to use it in.
So you got a truck and a trailer and they're tied up, or if you got it on a backhoe and you don't have real far to go, you can just run the backhoe over there. So both of them have their pluses and minuses, but
If you're gonna be strictly busted with that, you wanna use your backhoe, cause you use it a lot.
yeah.
You don't wanna tear it up.
I'll tell you what, a hammer and rock, see, it's hard on your
Oh,
bushings and your
bushing,
pins.
yeah.
It'll just beat a machine to death, but,
How much you think an 85 is?
85 is around 195. No,
I just sent him a message, but I got to answer me pretty quick. 'Cause I told him I didn't hear anything about no tickets to no golf.
225.
No. Counting the hammer, 155.
155.
That ain't bad. You
Yeah,
know, my way of thinking, and it,
He always answers me all the time.
my
They'll
way
ask
of
me about
thinking in
barbecue
Republic,
and this or that.
if